Okay, guys, Chef Risteard here today. And I thought you might like to see this one. Who likes pate? I remember when I was younger, I used to love pates. You know, even those meat ones at an early stage, but then as time went on, I moved away from the meat ones and I looked at the vegetable ones, vegetarian ones, plant-based ones, vegan ones. Vegan doesn't exist, guys, yeah? That was invented. There's no such thing as vegan. That's my personal opinion. But look, this is a sunflower seed pate. Now, what I did is I took 500 grams of seeds there yesterday, soaked them, yeah? And you can see the skins come off them and that, yeah? So what you do is just run them in water then, and the skins will float off the top and that, yeah? So that process, boom, I'll get that out of the way now. Phew. So what you do is I've got some roasted peppers here, right? So what we're going to do is just going to throw roasted peppers in there, yeah? I've got 2 roasted peppers, yeah? 200, 300, 400 grams of sunflower seeds. Doesn't matter, it's all taste. Don't be afraid. Give it a go. You can't go wrong. There won't be any big deal, yeah? I'm putting a bit of basil in here as well. Basil's really nice with this, I find personally, yeah? And I've got some saffron flour here. Saffron's nice. It has a very distinctive taste, saffron, as people know. You don't have to put it in at all. Now I've got a teaspoon of molten salt here, yeah? That's going in there as well, yeah? Now I'm also putting in a half a teaspoon of mustard. Good old English mustard. I really like the mustard I did in the old days, yeah? I remember when I used to eat ham, I used to eat ham sandwiches with mustard. God, it was like mustard sandwiches with ham. But I love that burning sensation. Anyway, a bit of cracked black pepper, yeah? Simple as that, yeah? Now, agave syrup, yeah? So I'm putting a tablespoonful in here, yeah? Just to take a little bit of sweetness into it. And what it does is it gives a bit of round off into your finished taste as well, yeah? So, the hand jobs, yeah? The hand blenders, yeah? That's all you need to do. And keep it in a narrow, vertical, not a wide bowl, because the closer it is here, for example, you see the width of this, yeah? So you'll be able to work it easy in there, yeah? So I'm going to get on with this anyway, yeah? And we'll come back and see what it looks like, the transformation. Okay. Actually, I'd like to have a little listen and have a little look. You see what happens? See, it's starting to form, yeah? And blitz up, yeah? Hopefully you can see it okay there. Anyway, you'll see it, don't worry, before when it comes out. Next in colour, aye. Now, there's another thing about this, right? It's coarse at this stage, yeah? But if you want it really, really smooth, just blend away and you'll get it really, really smooth. Some people like really smooth kind of spreads and pates, which you can do easily. But coarse, just leave it as it is if you want. It's just another tip. So we'll get on with this and get it out onto the plate. So this is it finished now, yeah? It's good enough for me, yeah? Because I'm making some homemade bread. I'll attach it onto this. There's a little flatbread I'm making. It only takes a few minutes. But I love it with this pate. It's really nice and tasty, especially when it just comes out of the oven, hot bread out of the oven. Everybody loves it. They say you shouldn't eat it. That's what we eat. Spelt flour is very different. Loaded with fibre. Anyway, let's take this out of the bowl. Out of the bowl, and I'm going to put it onto a plate, actually. Because you'll be able to see it better, yeah? As opposed to put it into a small bowl or anything, yeah? So I'm not really into that perfect picture like some of those blog people out there, yeah? They're not even chefs, they're nutritionists and all that kind of thing, but they just do blogs, yeah? And they spend the whole day doing a nice perfect picture. I want you to see the real thing, yeah? I don't want any false, I want authentic pictures, yeah? And I'm sorry if it doesn't appease those who like the perfect world. I'm only interested in that you get the perfect information. The content's more important to me than this beautiful picture that somebody spent 4 or 5 hours slapping around on cameras to get one dish. And there's a lot of that going on. But I'm not into that, I kind of value my time very much. But I will show you some really fancy stuff if you're into that fancy stuff. For those of you out there who like to see some really classy, fancy stuff, I'll do a couple of classy, fancy videos for you. Keep us all happy, for the non-believers. But anyway, there we go. That's my pate, right? Look at that. Now, that's what I'm having for my breakfast today, yeah? Now, the body tells me what to eat every so often, and sunflower seeds popped up into their head yesterday to get them ready for today, yeah? Because they're loaded with minerals, like, oh, absolutely. Iron. Oh, you need iron, guys, yeah? We need lots of minerals. But go and check with sunflower seeds. Don't take my word for it. Go and check. See what's in the sunflower seeds, and if you activate them, you know, you increase and enhance its mineral nutrition tenfold, and some would say even 100-fold. So I'll take 100-fold, no bother, any day. So that's it, simple. I'll throw on the bread, and I'll show you what I do with the bread now and all that, so it's easy. Okay, here's the bread that I'm going to make, a little flat bread I'm going to make to have with my beautiful sunflower, roast pepper and basil pate. I'm using my good old favourite spelt flour, and this is a wholemeal, yeah? You're probably saying, look, because you're not using any weights. Look, just throw it in there. It's all about texture and about feel. It's not necessarily about weights all the time. But anyway, I'm in a hurry, so I want this quickly, yeah? So within 15 minutes, I'm going to have fresh bread. So we'll say there's 150 grams of wholemeal flour, okay? No big deal. And there's a half a teaspoon of baking powder, right? Some cracked black pepper, because this is a parsley kind of bread I'm going to make, because I've done this before, parsley spelt bread with the sunflower seed. Oh, it's fabulous, was. You know, I went, oh, I'll have some of that, thanks very much. Some salt, a half a teaspoon, up to a teaspoon of salt, good salts. I keep saying it all the time, good salt, good sugar, absolutely. And there's a tablespoonful of parsley, okay? Now, all you need is literally a combination of hot and cold water now at this stage, right? Because the oven is on in the background there, and she's nice and hot, yeah? So, as I said, I just want a quick flatbread, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that now. So what I do is make a well in the middle, yeah? And then just kind of make a little batter, yeah? Just give it a good battering there, yeah? And a thin batter is what you want to start, okay? Just to start. Now, there's no oil in this bread, flat bread. Now, some people put oils in, you can go ahead, but if you've heard of any of my videos, oils, if you don't need them, don't use them. You know, your foods have got oils if you know which ones to combine together and that, and not together. So there's a bit of cold water. I'm going to grab a bit of hot water. Okay, a little hot water there as well, yeah? And what it does is it just kind of softens things up and gets the glutens going in your flour, yeah? Now, for those of you guys who don't know, the gluten in spelt flour is very different to the gluten in wheat flour. The molecular integrity of spelt flour, for simplicity terms, it's old and it's simple. If you can imagine one big circle, and inside that circle there's 4 evenly simple circles inside, yeah? And wheat, old wheat used to be like that as well, yeah? But then they hybridized it, yeah? So wheat went to one circle with 8 inside it. And the body says, God, what's going on here? Doesn't understand it. That's why wheat is one of the biggest pandemics, I think, today is wheat. It's not COVID-19. COVID-19, in my opinion, is just a facade for all the other crap that's going on behind. That's all. It's common sense. You can see it there. They change the stories every week. Anyway, back to the bread. So, a bit of flour on the board there, yeah? Take your dough ball out, yeah? And as usual, just give it a kneading, okay? Just give it a nice little kneading. And it's really soft because when you're using the warm water, yeah? It softens up your dough nice, yeah? And it's kind of starts it and activates it, which is what you want really, isn't it, you know? Because you want a bit of oomph in your bread, you know? So this is a flat bread, as I said, yeah? I'm not making any... But you can make it a bigger bread if you like, I don't care. This is basically the similar recipe to a lot of the breads I make, because bread is simple. And then it's just adding in your, whatever it is you want to add in then, isn't it? You know, from a taste point of view, yeah? Now, you've heard of the thing about the egg wash thing, yeah? Well, I don't use egg wash, I use water wash, yeah? And trust me, water wash is beautiful on the top of your bread or your pastries, some of them, yeah? It gives a nice kind of texture, finish, at the end, that crispy. And you don't want the top cooking too quickly, yeah? It gives the inside and underneath a chance. But look, it goes really blah, 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 yeah? Another thing that you can do here is you can put salt on it, yeah? So we put a bit of salt on it, or you can put sesame seed on it, yeah? You know, and it's kind of a salted bread and that. It's as simple as that. Oh yeah, cut it. And then just cut it in four, yeah? No big deal, yeah? Just cut it in four there, yeah? Like so, yeah? It actually feels like a yeast though. That's all you do, yeah? And throw that in the oven, yeah? And so you can see what happens. You know, why don't you cut one of them? Just so you see what happens. So cut two of them if you want to see. Cut a different way, but leave it plain. Learn as you're moving forward. Anyway, let's see what it looks like when it's cooked off. Yeah, there on the rack there, and I'm using underneath. Okay, just to give it a bit of space and then underneath, yeah, for the air to get under, which is good sometimes. So pop that in the oven for anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes. And we'll see what happens. So here we go, bread's out of the oven. As you can see there, I've already milled half of it, yeah. Couldn't resist it, like, yeah. Now remember I said to you about the egg wash on the top, the water wash, yeah. Well, it makes this crispy kind of cavity on the top, yeah. You can hear it there slightly, yeah. So anyway, just squeeze. This bread's roasting hot, yeah. Certainly wouldn't advise anybody to pick it up out of the oven the way I'm doing it here, yeah. My hands are at a different stage after 35 years working in kitchens. So squeeze it there, yeah, and you'll see it bouncing back up. Alright, see? Okay, so that's your bread done, yeah? So we take a nice piece of bread, yeah, and put it on your plate there, yeah? I've got some pate here, and I've got some gherkins, yeah? And a couple of pickled onions there, yeah? And some fresh herbs. Now the herbs you can put on there, it's totally up to yourself, yeah? I know people who put weed in there, yeah? And just cut up a load of weed leaves and they throw it on that plate, yeah? I've got a mixture of oregano here, basil, thyme and parsley here, yeah? But weed's very good, weed leaves, you should look into that, yeah? The cannabis plant, the marijuana plant, if you can get your hands on leaves, eat them, don't smoke them. There's nothing worse than smoking cannabis and marijuana. Eat the stuff, that's where the medicinal properties are, yeah? Anyway, so that's it, it's as simple as that, yeah?